Howdy folks, welcome to week number 4. This is when we do essay number 2, of course. Work on essay number 2. Alright, so what we're going to do this week. Watch the week 4 video. Congratulations, you're already doing that. Watch the essay structure video. Quick video sort of talking about the difference between what we learned in high school when it comes to essay structure and what we're thinking about right now. Then you're going to write your final draft of essay 1. I mentioned last week, of course, that we won't have a rough draft of this one. We will have a rough draft of the following essays, but not essay 1. My main goal here is to get you feedback and sort of establish a base point. Now, as I mentioned before, and I've mentioned multiple times, you need to work on that and write that essay in the Google Doc that I shared with you. So again, check your email for that. I've sent some information out. I just want to make sure that you're working on those in that document. Okay? All right. Next, we're going to complete the essay 1 reflection. Okay? And I'll talk about that in just a second. We're going to read John Peters' a piece on the effects of water and non-nutritive sweetened beverages, and Sharon Fowler's piece on diet soda intake. And you're going to write annotations of Peters and Fowler, and then you're going to begin research discussion round number 2. Again, I mentioned we're probably going to have about 4 of these over the course of the semester. This is the second one. This is also going to help us get ready for the next unit and the next essay. Okay. So over on the left-hand side here, okay, we've got the essay structure video and the place to submit the final draft of essay number 1. Then we have the essay 1 reflection. There's a template here called the essay 1 game plan. That's what I mean when I say reflection. Okay. I also marked it 1.0. We're going to use this document several times throughout the course of the semester. Like before, it's going to, ask to make a copy of the file in your Google Drive. It's going to look like this, okay? It's an empty document with some categories in it. What I want you to do right now are actually to just fill in what you think your strengths and weaknesses are. What do you think you did well on in your first essay? What do you think you didn't do well on? That's all we need to do for this one, okay? We're going to use the rest of these sections, including this reflection portion, later on, okay? And again, you can see there's places for essay 2 and 3. So we're going to come to this. We're going to keep working on it. But the first submission, all you need to do is your strengths and weaknesses. As a matter of fact, maybe I will rename this essay 1 reflection and call it your strengths and weaknesses. Because all we need to do this time is just those strengths and weaknesses. Just a bulleted list of what you think you did well on, what do you think you struggled with. Then, okay, we have links to Peters and Fowler, the 2 scholarly studies I need you to read, okay? We'll check this. You're going to write annotations of Peters and Fowler, okay? And there's a place to submit the notes portion and a place to submit the summary portion, okay? So just like last week, and please go back and take a look over your feedback from last week on your annotation. We have 2 parts to this. Part 1, just the notes on the document. Again, however you want to get those to me is fine. That can be you print it out, you handwrite notes on it, you submit them. It could be you take notes on them on another document and you submit that. It can be that you mark it up using Kami and then submit the PDF to me. Okay, all of those are viable ways to do it. If you can think of another way, please don't hesitate to reach out and say, hey, can I do it this way? And then, of course, you're going to write summaries of each of them. Okay, if we go back to 2 weeks ago, there was the video on writing summaries, annotation style summaries. Remember, there's some specific parts to those that we're looking for. The only thing I will say here is I would like you to put it into one single document, okay? This can only accept one file upload. I will note the notes, you can submit multiple files, but the summary one, you can only submit a single file. So just put 2 of them in one. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do now that I'm thinking about it here is I'm going to put together a quick template that you can make use of for these annotations. It'll have 2 slots, so you can just fill in. It'll save you some time. All right. Then finally, okay, our second research discussion. So we are going to start to answer this question about why Peters and Fowler reach different results. An interesting thing here, you guys will read the Peters article and the Fowler article, and what you will find as you do that is that they both look at the effects of diet soda or artificial sweeteners on weight gain or weight loss, but they come to different conclusions. One says they help you lose weight, one says they cause you to gain weight. Okay? So, our job as a group is to try to understand why. Okay? What we're going to do this week, we're going to have a Google document, okay, that you're going to work on filling in. When you click that link, it will open a folder up, okay? That folder will have in it a bunch of different groups. It will correlate with the group number that you're assigned in your Google chat. So you might be group 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay? All you have to do is open that folder up, and the only thing at this moment that you'll find in there is a file called Research Discussion Round 2. It's going to look like this. It will have Peters and Fowler's MLA formatted works cited citation here, and then it will have places to fill some things in. Again, just like one of these templates that you might use for your own work, we're actually going to use for some group work. So we're going to try to answer the question, why do they disagree, next week. This week, I want us to understand something about each of these studies. So we've got this broken down into different categories. Number 1, currency. When was this research done? Have things changed over time? For example, if the type of sweeteners that are on the market changed over time, that might actually have an impact on the results they find if their data was collected before or after new sweeteners or something of that sort. Okay? When was the research done and has anything changed? Number 2, authority. Who are the scholars who worked on this? Are they experts in the field? Is this what they always study? Okay, we could do some quick searches here and try to figure out, are these people who always study this basic topic? Then, do they have any conflicts of interest? Have they accepted money from industry sponsors? Do they have any side gigs that we can see? Okay. Study population, study design. How is the study designed? What specifically did they do? Who did they include in the study? How were those people identified? What did they actually measure? Do we think there's any reason to have that there is bias in this piece? What's the purpose of publishing it? Okay? Is there something in here that would suggest that they're biased? And then what do we learn from the source? What are our key takeaways from it? Now, these 5 different categories. There are about 8 to 10 of you in your group. I want you guys to work on this together, okay? Now, let me note a couple things here. You are not expected to fill out every section. Your group as a whole is expected to kind of cover everything. But if you, as a person in your group, might fill out 1, 2, maybe 3 chunks, or add to some sections that someone else has already written, that is absolutely fine, okay? Do note, you can use your Google Chat group to send a message out to your group mates and say, hey, I just want to let you know, I filled in these sections on this document. Can you guys add to it too? I'll come back to it on Wednesday or whatever, okay? Use that group to communicate about what you're doing here, okay? Just to kind of give each other a heads up. We're going to spend 2 weeks on this discussion. We're going to come back here. Whoops, sorry about that. We're going to come back here to this discussion. We're going to spend 2 weeks on it. We're going to try to answer the question next week. Our work this week is to fill in that Google Doc as a group and try to understand, sort of how the studies differ and what that might tell us about why they got different results, okay? So we're going to deal with this last part next week. Ultimately, what I want to see first is filling in the Google Doc this week, okay? So we'll have more information about the Google Chat next week, but do use that Google Chat to sort of just let your group mates know, hey, I did this, I did that. Can you guys fill in this? Is someone willing to take care of this section? Whatever. Okay? All right. So, this week, it's really finishing up Essay 1 and getting us started on Essay 2. Peters and Fowler, this discussion is going to be sort of some precursor material for Essay number 2 and ultimately Unit number 2 and what we're working on there. All right? As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help.